And I've
and you have a
often
nose.
stood in toy stores staring at the Bratz dolls, and those around me have always thought that guy's having sexual fantasies about the Bratz dolls. But really what I was thinking was, I wonder what their real-life adventures are all about. And this movie answered that question for me.
This movie was for you, is what you're saying.
Well, I don't like to brag, but yeah.
And the Hispanic brat could do a magic trick where she pulls pieces of chocolate from behind her mother's ears, which astounds her mother.
And never fails to amaze her mom.
I
never got any closure on that plot point.
Is it a Hispanic stereotype to do magic tricks or to love chocolate? Yes, I don't know.
Both. You know those Hispanics and all their chocolate?
South of the border, nothing but magic tricks.
But the point is, on the first day, all the brats want to sit together, but they need to be segregated to their individual interests. And because of this, they basically break up as friends. And then suddenly, the film has a title card that says, 2 years later. 20 minutes into the film, there's a title card that says, 2 years later. And then immediately upon coming back into the story, they all get sentenced to detention together and become friends again because of that. And literally, there's no reason why that couldn't all have happened in the same year.
They also look exactly the same. They have the same interests, the same friends. So they're going roughly from like the age 14 to the age 16, let's say, or 13 to 15. Like, that's a major... Those are two of the two most important years in a young American's developmental life. Sure. They would have changed was not the same person at 13 that I was at 15, but they have not changed at all. Nothing has happened. And then they become
Physical
friends.
changes.
No physical... Well, they have already gone through puberty before their first day of high school.
Oh, okay.
But they also...
different haircuts, maybe?
Same haircuts.
They're all obsessed with the same romantic interests.
Who also look the same and have the same haircuts and are with the same girls. These guys are in high school relationships that have lasted 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it seems like they would take them a lot more seriously.
Yeah, except then they wouldn't just leave immediately when they see these attractive brats walking in. They go to detention because of a food fight they accidentally cause, in which massive fistfuls of pasta are thrown around. It looks someone picks up a plate and throws it, and then they'll cut to someone being hit in what looks like a confetti cannon's worth of pasta in the face. I do imagine the director in the scene going, "Oh, we need more pasta. We're not getting across the food fightosity of this scene." But what still is yet to come in the movie? Oh, I don't know, a talent show? Maybe a Super Sweet 16 party?
That's good. Don't talk about the talent show
Oh, sorry, I won't get to that yet. Even though they mentioned the talent show roughly 25 minutes into the film, and then it's dropped for a while.
The poor brat's mom turns out to be the caterer for this party.
Which she hardly... And this is a woman who... Her daughter comes home and her mom is asleep on the couch. And she says, "Oh no, I've got to cook all this food. Oh no. Mom, you're tired. Here, I'll take care of it. You sleep for a couple hours." So her mother's dealing with depression or alcoholism or something.
Sure.
This is a woman whose only job seems to be catering this one party, and that she's so tired that she cannot do it. Oh, okay, but here's the thing. So they cater it, but then not only do they have to cater it, they also have to fill in for the wait staff who couldn't show up. So the brats are not only at the party, but they're servants to their evil...
Also, the wait staff have to wear clown costumes because suddenly this is a Fellini film. And then the brats, who have basically been on top, except for the 2-year span that we did not see them because
in which you have to assume they had, I assume, eating disorders, date rape, terrible things.
You have to assume that all of the drama in the film actually occurred during those 2 years that we didn't see.
One of the things we haven't touched on yet, I don't want to actually talk that much more about the plot of this movie.
We haven't even gotten to the talent show yet.
What I just want to talk about a little bit was this movie had a little bit of music in it, right, guys?
And by which you mean 60% of the movie. It seems like every 2 minutes or so, it's a different song, and sometimes every 15 seconds. As soon as there's any sort of change in, like, even if two characters are having a conversation, and their conversation ends, and another conversation starts, music change.
And it's not just pop hits, too. Like, it'll be opera, it'll be sort of like...
Blue Danube at one point.
Esquivel-style exotica.
It was...
Very strange.
It was like the person who... It was like the soundtrack arranger had been given one of those Nickelodeon Toys R Us shopping sprees where they're like, you got 15 minutes to run through this record store and just pull CDs off the shelf, and then you got to score the movie with that. And it was like, Strauss, Esquivel, Wonderwall, and so forth. Just anything she could get her hands on.
like all this, all this style, all these music choices, all this stuff. Like, could you just think about what would have happened if it had all gone wrong? I mean, it's so lucky. Like,
lucky this movie turned out to be a masterpiece. Yeah.
It's something beautiful coming out of chaos.
This could have turned out to be a mess in which something new happens every 2 minutes, and the characters don't make sense, and you get dizzy. The only time the way I felt after watching this movie was the way I felt after I once drank too much water in a short amount of time, and I was logy, and my mind was reeling, and I feel drunk, but I'm not drunk. I've just drank a lot of water. I don't understand.
Yeah.
That's the Bratz.
That's a sweet high, a water high.
That's the Bratz for you.
Watching the movie, I had a great time. And particularly, I know we've ruined it for you as a podcast listener, but the first time 2 years later got thrown up there on the screen, I could not stop laughing.
I think we said what the fuck like 10 times.
20 minutes into the film.
Beautiful in its surprise.
Jump ahead for 2 years, and ultimately it makes no difference. So that was beautiful. Thank you, Bratz, the movie.
And I would also go for a category 2. This is by no means a good movie. Let's just get that out of the way right there. It's a terrible movie. The message is abhorrent. Be yourself as long as you're beautiful and good at everything. But yeah, watching it the whole time, it's like babysitting a nephew who's 4 years old and running around, and you're really tired after a day of work, and you're like, oh, I don't want to watch this kid anymore and run around. He keeps doing different things that are really irritating. But then at the end of the night, you're so giddy from chasing this kid around that you're like, you know what? I'll babysit another time. So...
Oh, you got me, Bratz.
You got me, Bratz. You won me over with your crappiness, but also with your energy.
Oh, man.